record the session as well. So today, the 34th in the lecture series, New World, I have a very special and honored VIP guest, the creator of One Humanity, One World. And she's not only created that global social movement, but she's created a very magical piece of divine video, which, well, I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's all I'm saying, it is literally divine and absolutely amazing. So I'm going to pass it over to our special VIP guest to get her to do a little introduction of what you folks out there are going to enjoy for the next 10 minutes. Andrea, all yours.
Well, thank you very much, Leon. It's an honor for me to be a team with you for the last few years, working to help you to promote God and your Clijsters mission. And I think it's very important for your message to get out in this world. And that's what we've been working on. And that's one of the reasons why I love making these kind of videos to promote the true knowledge and truth. And I just hope everybody can enjoy it.
All right. And that I can almost guarantee. They're gonna not just enjoy it, they're gonna love it. So anyway, folks, I'm just gonna share you my screen now so I can share the YouTube channel with you, and you're gonna enjoy a very, very, I can guarantee it, enlightening experience for the next 10 minutes. So just be patient with me while I share my screen, including the audio. I'm gonna make sure I share the audio as well, share the sound. Okay, on YouTube screen, share. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the video. And so Andrea, if I don't hear you, then audio is working good, okay? So I'm gonna play it now and open widescreen. So enjoy it, folks, for the next 10 minutes.
Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nden Leon Ying bizlerle beraber olacak.
More than just an atheist, I was pretty much anti-God. I thought anyone who believed in God and spirituality was a bunch of losers. This was when I was in the dark side, of course. My mentality has completely gone 180 degrees, and now my aspiration, perception of God and the need for God is completely the opposite.
No, I am probably the biggest God bigot ever. So if I can convince myself, then you know what? Convincing the other 6 billion people, it's going to be easy.
God is a necessity of humanity. Well, first of all, of course, God does exist based on my scientific proof, but that we do still need, even in this space age, we still do need a God entity.
So obviously I'm here to describe my twin universe theory and how that conceptually, logically leads to a concept of a God, basically.
Now that I perceive it, I think in my very young beginning, I did have what's referred to maybe third eye. I did actually have prophetic dreams that came true when I was very, very young. I thought everyone had this gift. But to cut a long story short, I tried to abuse it when I was growing up, and I lost that gift. So I guess I've always been this, as arrogant to say, this spiritual child. But I went into the scientific field, and then from this spiritual child, I became an arrogant scientist. That science will prove everything. Well, actually, now that I claim I prove God through science, I guess that is a correct statement. But at that time, I thought, science was everything, and we didn't need God, we didn't need spirituality. So the transformation is a gradual one. Basically came through that book, Clijsters. So I started writing on it. I can't remember, I think it's 1998, I think. It was actually at the science conference at Argonne National Lab. So at first I thought that was just me writing a sci-fi novel, but that was the first step. That gradually over the years evolved into this discovery, the twin universe discovery, which again I arrogantly state is the most righteous and correct scientific theory, which ultimately leads to this single omnipotent consciousness, which is my scientific definition of God. So it's been a very, very long, arduous process. It wasn't like an overnight, although there were sort of eureka moment, but it's been at least a 2.5 decade journey, in terms of my scientific movement to finally discovering that there does exist this divine entity that we reference to as God.
How many people believe in my mission? Probably no one to begin with. Now people are starting to believe me.
One of the objections I have with current faith-based religion is that it humanize, it personalize God into a human being. Again, I understand that we're a primitive species, but the problem with that when you humanize God is that you add the good and the bad side of humanity onto God, and regrettably, humans are not angels. Yet, not everyone's a demon either, but we're definitely not angels. So when we personalize God into, this body shape, into giving God the name, whether it's Yahweh, Christ, or Allah, then, like I said to you, we tend to lump God with all the goodness, but also all the evilness of humanity, which is one of the reasons why religion's always been killing itself, fighting against. So I don't try to describe God other than it's like the universe. Just like when someone said, well, what's the name of the universe? And said, well, what are you talking about? The universe is the universe. It doesn't have a name. Well, it doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a legs, arm, like a human being. It's just a universe, right? And that's where I describe God. Ultimately, in my scientific discovery, God and the cosmos is as one. So it's like the universe. It doesn't have a name. It's just a God, which is, some people think it has a name. It's not a name. That's just a noun. It's not a name. It's just so it doesn't have a proper name. So I don't personalize God. I perceive God as a consciousness. This, if you want to put it in a scientific way, it is a supercomputer of the cosmos, and that's how I define it. And that's why I call it the single omnipotent consciousness. So it's this great thinking supercomputer that is the entire cosmos. That's how I simplify my God. We abuse nature, we abuse the resources that we think is made for us. We don't, and maybe we should come to our realization that, yeah, we are irrelevant. Just like we look at ants and we step on an ant, we say, oh, that's irrelevant. Well, when we say, well, maybe we're that ant, and maybe, we don't want to be stepped on. Maybe we don't want to step on the ant, but we have to realize our position in the universe. The universe is vast, this vastness. But I don't want to downplay that we're irrelevant, we're not important. Just like the ant. Because the ant is small does not make it irrelevant. To me, an ant is just as relevant as we are. Yeah, it's smaller than we are, but it's relevant. So we are relevant, but we shouldn't think that we are the most relevant thing, more relevant than God, more relevant than the ant, more relevant than everything. That's where I believe, then persecute other entities, discriminate against, whether we think our color is better than someone else's color. That's where all the evilness comes on. So maybe humanity should be more humble by itself. That we are important, but we're just one part of this whole universe, and we should live in harmony with the entire universe. That's how I perceive it. From the birth of Kleistar, which, as I mentioned to you, is prophesized, obviously led me to a twin universe, which is my scientific path to discovering God. So what is all this for? Well, it's simple. Actually, I created the one God, one religion, which is the New World Religion. And it is a New World Religion, and it's based on facts-based. So unlike all the other religion, whether the Abrahamic religion, like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, which is a monotheistic religion, or the other non-monotheistic religion, like Hinduism. But the uniqueness of this one God, one religion is that purely fact, that relies on mathematical logic and scientific proof. None of the other religion does that. All the other religion just faith-based, that somehow you just got to faith that God exists. Now, I'm not saying that is wrong, absolutely not. My goal is to unify the facts and the base together and build a yin-yang, unbreakable belief in God through facts and through faith. But that's the uniqueness of this new religion, this one God, one religion. It will unify the entire religion, because logic states if there is only one God, then logic dictates there should only be one religion. Okay, that's just logic, right? So I believe this one God, one religion is what is stated. The one God with the one religion. Okay, so the significance of it is that, you know, you see through historical, there you go, cycles, you have Buddhism, then you have Judaism, then you have Christianity, then Islam. So they go through cycles where new religions, new spirituality movement comes up. So I believe this space age requires a new space age type religion, which is this fact-based religion, which ultimately is going to be the final definitive religion that's going to consolidate all religious belief, spirituality into this ultimate unification of religion and science, this ultimate yin-yang, this duality. So in terms of the significance of it, is literally heavenly defined. It literally is sky's the limit. Words alone cannot describe what I believe is the significance of this major discovery, which, thanks to heaven, has given me as the portal to deliver it to humanity based on knowledge and truth. So I pass people not to worship me, not to idolize me, not to follow me. All they need to look at is the knowledge, the truth, and judge that based on their own wisdom. Okay, and they find the same discovery as I have, then to optionally worship God or not worship God, because my belief is that God don't need to have his butt kissed. God only needs humanity to be righteous and good. That is what each of us here on earth should aspire to. Not how many times we go to church, not how many times we read whatever holy book, whatever, but just be good and righteous. Okay? It's that simple. Live a good and righteous life, and you will all attain what God will for us humanity here on earth is all about. Well, folks, unless you're completely, pardon my English, brainless and heartless, I think you would agree with me that this was one of the most absolutely inspiring, divine piece of creation. I mean, not just because it's about me, of course. Don't focus on the messenger, focus on the message. That's what I'm referring to as it is such divine. It's the message, not the messenger. Okay? So anyway, I'll go back, like I said to you, almost to tears, but I'll go back before I burst in tears to Andrea, to a little bit of more intro to what that video is all about. And I believe she's also going to speak a little bit of Spanish as well.
Yes, those were really kind words, Leo. And one of the reasons that now I want to talk a little bit in Spanish is to give a little bit of the preview of the message that video was given. And as you said, the message is the most important. And that is also what we talk about in the video. That is no longer the area of irrational worship, but through the logic, aspire to wisdom. So I'm going to talk now a little bit in Spanish. So I know that you may won't understand me, but I'm sure that our audience will, okay? So, bueno, gracias a todos por estar con nosotros hoy y por haber visto este vídeo con nosotros. Simplemente me gustaría explicar brevemente un poco lo que es el mensaje del vídeo para que pueda llegar un poco a todos. Básicamente, León nos explica a través de su descubrimiento científico de la existencia de Dios, que ahora estamos entrando en una nueva era, en una nueva edad, en una edad espacial, en la que ya no tenemos que estar en un estado en el que solo nos basamos en la fe y solo adoramos, sino que vamos un poquito más allá. No se trata de abandonar la fe, sino se trata de unir la fe con los datos, con los hechos, con la ciencia. Por eso lo que hace Kleistad es unir la religión y la ciencia para tener ese yin y yang perfecto como León lo describe en el vídeo. El motivo de esto es porque si se unifican todas las religiones con la ciencia, y de eso es el One God, One Religion, un Dios, una religión, es un movimiento de unificación global. Básicamente porque así esto traería muchísima más paz al mundo si dejáramos de matarnos o discriminarnos por estos pequeños factores. Él explica mucho más y toda su ciencia es pública, así que eso dejaré para que cada uno lo investigue por su cuenta, pero básicamente para que nuestro mensaje llegara mejor. Una cosa muy importante que él dice, y con esto ya cierro, es que no hay que adorar a ningún hombre, no hay que adorar al mensajero. Él lo dice, no hay que adorarle a él, no hay que adorar a ningún hombre ni a ninguna mujer, sino lo único que hay que buscar perseverantemente en la vida es el conocimiento y la veracidad, las verdades. Dicho esto, muchísimas gracias a todos. Después el vídeo será público para todo el mundo. Y muchísimas gracias. And thank you very much, Leon. I just tried to explain a little bit what we just talked about. So I'm done.
Well, I just want to finish this by saying that this, the 34th in the series, is by my personal vote, is the best of all of it. I'm totally inspired, and obviously I have to thank my great earthly companion, Andrea, for creating something that's so divine and, you know, magical, to get the message out to the rest of humanity. So I am blessed to have God in my life. I am blessed to have Andrea in my life, to walk parallel path. Me on the one God, one religion, global unification movement, and Andrea on her one humanity, one world, global social movement. And because of that, I am very, very optimistic for the future for humanity to go up and explore the outer stars and go in and explore the inner spirit. So thank you all. Thank you, Andrea, and God bless.
Thank you very much, and bless you too.